Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Asya. I'm 27 years old and I have a new camera. This is my first camera ever. My fiance bought me this. I have these, I forgot always the name, a landscape cap. Then I have the camera. It is a Sony ZV-F1 and I have here everything in my box. I have more landscapes. I have a cable here. I have some batteries. I think it was 5 with this one, so I have here 4 of the batteries, and here is a stationary. I have 2 of them. And today I wanted to talk about another topic. I wanted to talk about storytelling, and that's because we have narration and storytelling in the university. So I'm in the 3rd semester and I really like this course, but we are talking about how to make stories, how to storytelling. So the thing is, when you're starting to make a storyboard, you need to think about a lot of things like the story, emotions, which message you want to send to your audience, the colors or perspectives, timing is super important, and the characteristics of your character. And we made 4 different storyboards, and I wanted to talk about this with you, what I drew and what is the meaning or the message of this story. Let's get started with the video. So first task was to make a storyboard for the story of Timmy the whale. Timmy the whale is actually a real story about a whale. He lived in the ocean, and once he was swimming out of his comfort zone, he was not in his home anymore, and he got lost, and we needed to make a story out of it. And I had the idea to make a happy ending. I read a lot of articles or saw a lot of TikTok videos to think about how we can rescue this whale, how we can help him. So here's the story. I started with the protagonist, Timmy the whale, and you can see that he is swimming by his own. On the second panel you can see that there are a lot of fishes following him, and he is following the fishes, so he don't know where he is. He just following the fishes and don't see what is in front of him. On the third panel you can see that there is a fish net, and he saw it too late, that he got caught. And for a panel you can see that he's confused, he don't know what's going on here, and cannot go out of the fishing net, so he is trying his best but couldn't escape. On the 5th panel you can see that he got lost on the beach, and on the 6th panel you can see there is a man, and he hears the noises from the whale, so he can help him. He's calling the rescues, and they are helping Timmy the whale to get out of the fishing net. He is exhausted, so he needed some help. After the rescue, is it clear that he's exhausted? So the other fishes from before coming and helping Timmy get back to his own place, to his home in the ocean. And on the 9th panel, you can see that he is jumping in the air and is happily escaped. On the 10th panel you can see that there's a child seeing a poster from Timmy the whale, and she said that she is glad that he escaped, and she don't want to help or seeing other fishes to die, that they die. So she said that she don't want to eat fishes anymore, and her parents are really proud of her mindset, and that she also said by her own that she doesn't want to eat more fishes, and she's also crying. You can see the emotions in her face. And that was the story behind that. This is a storyboard I created for the story Timmy the whale. I know that the other students make another story out of the situation. Some of them made something like an aerial story where you can see something is blinking or gold or something. Timmy is following the gold or shiny thing, so that he also is in a black place and don't know where he is, etc. pp. And I thought this idea is really good and I wanted to show that with black and white. My teacher also said that we should only use black and white colors, so I created this and I hope you like that. So now we can go to the second storyboard. I need to explain that because I don't really have a real storyboard, but I'll show you. This was the only thing I made for the second storyboard because my teacher said to us that we need to make a team out of two, and I had another student with me to draw the story. We never texted over the week. I also worked in the weekends, so I didn't really have the time to create more than this one piece. She wanted to make a story out of Adopt Don't Shop was this story, or the title of the story, and she wanted to show that we should not buy an animal from others, we should adopt more animals. So we have here a dog lying on the street and then there should be a rescue, and he wanted to help the animal, this dog, to get better and healthy again, and then there should be a family seeing this dog and adopt him, that this is a happy ending with this cute dog sitting on the couch with the family. But like I said, she doesn't wrote me, and I don't want it to make this story because I hate, or I'm not hating it, but I'm bad at drawing animals. I don't like it to draw animals. I'm bad at drawing cats and dogs. So I was like, when she doesn't text me, I don't want to finish it because I knew that I will work on Saturday in this week and I was exhausted too, so I don't want it to stress myself. I also said it to the teacher. She know that I was working and she was not mad or something like that, but I thought it's important to say why I never finished this story. So for the next storyboard was my idea to draw a girl with a self-doubt. That means that she was insecure about her body. So, and you can see here I also made 6 different panels. On the first picture you can see 4 different girls, and the girl in the middle who has more colors in it, in her hair, in her clothes, and shining from above. You can see that she is the protagonist in this story, and everyone is laughing and having fun. On the second panel you can see that there's a telephone. She has her phone in her hand and open up the app Instagram, and the picture has 1.5 million likes, but I forgot actually to draw something in it. On the third panel you can see 3 different girls. One of them has operations, one of them has a full makeup on her face, and the other one is skinny. The idea was to draw something that could be better than when you're looking in the picture or yourself. On the fourth panel you can see that the girl feeling upset about the pictures. I used grayish tones to show her emotions and how she could feel about seeing the different pictures. On the fifth panel you can see that she's looking upside down through a mirror on her body and feeling insecure. She's watching on her body and her stomach. Her stomach is a little bit chubbier and she feeling bad about herself. And on the last panel, on the 6th panel, you can see that the next day is coming or came up, and she feeling also upset to see that she saw the pictures. she's looking sad, and there's one friend looking at her, and she don't know what's going on inside her head. She don't know why she's looking like that. She had the idea that something is wrong but cannot talk with her. This is the fact. I don't want it to make a conversation or draw a conversation. I just wanted to show that this girl feeling insecure about herself because of the pictures on Instagram. So this was the idea. I couldn't show this to my teacher because we only was 4 students at that day, but I showed my presentation and it was good. My teacher liked the presentation a lot, and she also liked that I edited and explained that colors are also important, and I wanted to show it also in this storyboard. So now I want to talk about the last storyboard. Actually, I forgot that I needed to make it black and white, so I colored it, and I also had more time because I was sick this week. This was from last week. I drew it last week. I used multiple colors, but I decided to draw only the base color, so I don't really use shadow or lightning. But the idea or the assignment was to draw 6 panels, but the first panel needed to be at the last panel. But I made it that the first panel is also similar to the 5th panel. On the first panel, you can see that there's a table and a lunch box and something to drink. In the background, you can see a shelf and some water, etc. And on the second panel, you can see that there's a girl with blonde hair. She's yawning, and her smartphone is ringing on 7:20 a.m. She's late for school. And then on the third panel, you can see that she is looking on her phone and being shocked because there's written, "Where are you?" And someone tried to call her, but she didn't wake up. And after that, in the message, you can also see that there's written school, but I wrote it in German, so I needed to explain you that. And she's shocked because she needed to rush. And on the fourth panel, you can see that she's brushing her hair and doing multiple things, brushing her hair, put on her clothes, and trying her best to do it in a fast way. On the fifth panel, you can see that she's running out of the house. She has her backpack, and you can see the kitchen, that there's a lunch and the drink she forgot at home. And on the last panel, on the sixth panel, you can see the backpack and there's something missing. You can see the books, her things for the school, but she forgot her lunch at home. So you can see the marks. I drew it so you can see that there's something missing, but it's something like a flashback moment, flashback structure. There are several movies and series where this structure also came in. So the past is on the first few minutes in a movie or series, and after a few hour or a half of an hour, you can see that this past come by. It's also like a flashback moment, and I really like the idea because we also need to make a storyboard. So we need to make our own story and make a storyboard with 10 to 15 panels. And I don't know what my story should be because I was thinking about using an old story, but I don't want to use always the old stories I created back in 2017 or 13. I don't know what I will be drawing for the storyboard course, so narration and storytelling. So I need to think about the idea and the message and the colors and what I want to give you back or what I want to show to my audience. So I don't really know what type of theme I want to use to make the storyboard. A few things before I finish this video. Don't forget that when you are making a storyboard, it's always important to think about the message. What do you want to show? Think about the emotion, think about the perspective. Perspectives are really important when you're making a storyboard, because you can use a lot of perspectives to make this storyboard special and looking better than always using just one perspective. Like at this point, you can see that I only used one perspective, but I also could use multiple perspectives to make this video more interesting or more creative. I don't like to show you my whole room. So, but this is a really good idea to make your storyboard creative. And when you also want to add colors to your storyboard, think about it, because in a lot of storyboards you just use black and white colors or just drawing the outlines. But it also can help you to play with the colors. If you want to use colors or just black and white colors or grayish tones, you can also think about protagonists and antagonists and how do you want to represent the characteristics and the emotions of the characters. This is the end. I hope you like this video. If you want, you can give me a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel. I would love to see some comments in the description, or not on the description. I would love to see some comments in the comment section. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, or Threads @drawnbyasya. See you next time. Bye.